YouTube? Craig and Mike back again with another DIY, unexpected DIY video. So, if you follow us on Instagram, you already know what we're about to do, but if you haven't yet, go follow us on Instagram, link down in the description. We are changing out the shifter shaft seal on Scarlett. Came out this morning and found out that it was leaking. The picture will be up right here. And once I found that, I was like, well, I gotta figure out what's wrong with it first. Jumped online, found out it was an easy fix from the seal, and so that's what we're about to show you, how to fix it. Let's flip the camera around and we will start to fix it. All right, so the first thing we're gonna do is, this is the first time I've ever done this. Actually the first time I've ever done it, but especially the first time I've done it with Scarlett. That's why you see the blanket there. We're going to lay the bike over on its side, because you can do that with Victories. So if you can't tell, you kind of can tell, right there and over here, and the trunk are over here to the side. I already took those off, just to reduce a little bit of the weight, and just in case it falls over the rest of the way. That way it doesn't.
Do you want to explain why we're laying it down?
Scratch over. Yeah, so the reason we're laying it over is because the shifter, the seal on the shifter, we're changing it out, right? Like we talked about in the intro, but we don't want extra oil leaking out of that seal, which we'll show you here in a minute. But we're going ahead and we'll lay this over, and then we'll cut to actually changing out that seal. Like that.
Alright.
Bam! It'd probably be a lot easier with not a full tank of gas, too. There you go. The first time and only time, knock on wood, that Scarlett well would be that angle. Besides, me ripping up them corners. Alright, I'm going to give Craig the camera, and then we will go through the steps of changing out the seal. So first and most important is you need something to hydrate with. So we have hydration. And then the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take a Sharpie and we're gonna mark where the shifter is placed at right now. So before I take this 10mm out, I'm gonna mark it with the Sharpie so I know right where to stick it back when we go to stick it back on. So let me go ahead and mark this. Right there. Bam. Now that way, we know how to line it back up when we go to stick it back on. Then we're gonna take 10mm. Maybe. So you take your shifter bolt out. Now, mind you, this is the first time I've ever done this. Either one of us has ever done this. Replacing any kind of seal, especially on this bike. So, got that bolt out, and we're gonna wiggle it. There we go. Now, that's why we marked where we're gonna put this, so we know right where to put it back. And I'm guessing the seal is right here. So we're gonna take our fancy dancy little pick here and pick out the seal. There it is. That is exactly what was wrong with it. We do have a little bit of oil here, so let's take a rag and get out as much of that oil. This seal doesn't look bad, but Evidently, you saw all the oil, so it must have been bad. So let me clean this out a little bit here. It's still seeping out. And that's why we laid it on the side, so we didn't have all that draining out at one time. So that should be all the oil that we lose. And then we're gonna take this $10.76 part after tax. If you're looking for the SKU number or the part number, contact your local Indian dealership, because we know Victory's not in business anymore. Contact your local Indian dealership, and it's the SKU number, if you want to get a shot of it there, it's 3610154. Can you see it? All right. So that's the part number if you need to do this to your bike. So you can go ahead and check that out. So we're going to open it up here. Oh, that's why I can't get it open. I don't have my opener with me.
His boot knife.
There we go. Now it's open. All right. I'm gonna check it. Yep, right there. So you got the old one here, and then the new one here. And then we're gonna take this. I don't think there's a certain way to go on. It's just a seal. So we're just gonna put it over, squeeze it in, and then I got a deep well socket. I'm gonna lightly rolling. All right, we're back.
Technical difficulties.
So I just put the new seal in right there, and I got a deep well just about the size of the seal itself. So I'm gonna lightly tap it in. Well, hold on. Let me put the extension on it so it's easier to get to. Hopefully, kind of like that. Yeah, you see that when we pull it off, it was already out a little bit.
Yeah.
So yeah, that seal was starting to go bad. We're just gonna lightly tap it in there. We're gonna wipe off around it. And I think we're done. Now, I just tapped it and make sure it's good and well set in there. And I think it's in there. What do you think, Greg? Think we're good?
I think we're good. 10-minute.
This actually might be a 10-minute job. Even a 20-minute. I think it'll probably take me longer to edit this video than what it actually took us to do it.
Shitty filming.
Nah, it's
The
alright.
camera flipping everywhere.
It's the gimbal's fault, man. I need to get a new one. If you'd like to donate to the channel, you can follow the Amazon link in the description, and it'll take you to Victory Parts on Amazon. If you buy any of those Victory Parts, or if you want to buy anything else from Amazon, go ahead and buy it, and a small contribution of that purchase will come back to us to help us buy more parts for the bike. And help us buy new equipment too, because our gimbal, it's a little boogered up. All right, so I think it's set in there pretty well. I don't know if you can see it in the video, but this old one, when I first took that the shifter linkage off, it was popped out a little bit. So I think either it's working itself out or it's cracked around the edge. I don't know, but it cost me $10 to fix it. All right, now we're gonna come back over here. We're gonna line our spline back up, or our shifter linkage. We're gonna line it back up, and that looks about right. Right about there-ish. I'm gonna, well, there goes our mark.
Can it come off?
Well, the paint job I did. There it goes.
We would also like to say that We are not professional mechanics.
Oh, hell no. Definitely not
So,
professional.
disclaimer. If you work on your bike and you fuck something up,
See, that's why I'm not afraid to do any of this, because it's my own bike. I don't give a shit. Well, I do give a shit, but, you know, I'll do as I please. All right, so I got my Marks line back up here, although you really can't tell because I took off most of the paint when I was tapping it in. That's all right. I'll just spray back over it. I'll just repaint it, no big deal. Then we'll put our 10 millimeter bolt back in. And then we're gonna, oh, wait, nope, we're not gonna do that. I'll tighten it up, just like so. I don't know why I took that off.
took what off?
I feel like that's not where it was, because wasn't I able to fit this on there?
I think so.
Oh well, I'll adjust it later if I have to. All right, we're gonna tighten this back down. All right. And that's it. So we'll take the camera back from Craig, and then we'll set the bike back up, make sure it's not leaking, start it up, let it run, and go from there. And that should fix it.
Cool.
All right, so you saw us change it out. Now we're gonna lift the bike back up and give it a test.
Oh, she's a heavy bitch.
Check it out now. Yeah, it should be good. There we go. All right, so let's switch to some B-roll. We'll start it up and see what happens. All right, that's it. You saw it. Changed the seal and the shifter, and we made it happen. Super easy. It took what, 10 minutes?
10 minutes.
10 minutes. That's all it takes. Don't forget, go follow us on Twitter. Go follow us on Twitch. We're starting to stream now. And then like, comment, subscribe. Don't forget, this video over here is the most recent one we put up. This video over here is the one that YouTube suggests for you. And right over my face, go ahead and punch me in the face and hit that subscribe button. Remember, always keep the shiny side up.